What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video and my very first gun guide of Delta Force. Many more to come. Basically, I will make a guide with every single weapon in the game. But first, I need to max them out, so it will take a bit of time. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe for more Delta Force tips and tricks. As I said, I'll be coming out with a guide for every single gun in the game. First, I want to max out the weapons to be sure what attachments to use, so these guides are actually very meaningful. And I want to show you guys instantly what attachments you should toss on the weapon to make it as best as it possibly can be. So the AKS-74, it is actually a starter weapon for the people that don't know. You can use this on the medic class. It plays like a assault rifle basically, but it can kill up close very fast. The rate of fire is 533, and the capacity, you start off with 30 rounds, but you unlock the extended max very much later on. You get a insane drum mag with the AKS, but you also have a 45 round mag with this gun. It's very good for range. It might be one of the best range weapons on the entire medic class, which could be good if you're trying to play medic but you want to stay a bit more long range. However, in the medic class, you should keep in mind that you're trying to help out your team by reviving, and usually people die close to enemies. So have a nice playstyle between playing aggressive, taking out the longer range targets with the AKS, but helping out your teammates as well at the same time by reviving them or tossing out smokes. So the AKS-74, it becomes absolutely insane with the right attachments. It's already a good starter weapon, so if you're looking for a good starter weapon, use the AKS. It was my favorite starter weapon for sure. It still is, by the way, so if you're looking for a starter weapon, try out the AKS-74 on the medic class, that is. So the attachments for this gun made a huge difference. However, there's one down part of this gun, the build that I have right now. You need to max out the weapon. A lot of attachments you unlock quite early on, but there's some attachments like the extended mag and the barrel that I'm using that you unlock later on, but it makes the gun so much better. So what you probably will be using on the AKS, and that what made the biggest difference for me, is you're probably using some type of reflex sight. Kind of most standard sights will work on this gun. However, then I found out something. So here on the AKS, there is most people will probably use the combat red dot sight or the panoramic red dot. These two are very popular. Some people will use the Cobra sight. And then I figured out, as you can see right now, it is the 1.5 to 5 adjustable scope. And I'm going to go into firing range to show you guys why it's so good. So basically what you want to do, this is already the full build, by the way, that I'm using. Basically what you want to be doing with this gun is you don't want to go to the 5 times. So as you see, I don't zoom in very much. But with that cross scope, you can be super precise. So this scope literally made the difference of me being able to kill players maybe from 1 to 50 meters to being able to kill players from 1 to 100 meters. So as you can see, it is super precise right now. And this is on the medic class, so keep that in mind. See right there, you're hitting shots from the range. Try and do that without the scope. It's actually quite hard. So you have the target further in the back right there. I have tried this with the scope, and maybe I'm just not good enough. But it is really hard to hit players from that range. And with this sight, you're going to be able to do it. This sight made such a big difference for me. I think it literally made the gun twice as good for me by using the 1.5 to 5 times. So first I want to get a bit into the playstyle of the AKS-74, and then I'll show you guys the full attachments, guys, of what you need to use to make the gun as best as it possibly can be. So the playstyle is, it's very important to play your medic role, so to revive people, but you can also stay in that role because this gun allows for it. You can play aggressive with it, even with the scope build that I'm showing right now. You can still play aggressive with it. And the most important thing, what you not want to do is want to engage too much, so it doesn't play like an MP5 or a Vector. Some people will play a little bit too aggressive. You can notice by, if you die to this gun, you actually usually die from a medium range, and that's exactly how you want to be playing this. So play a little bit medium range, play aggressive when you need to, play a little bit longer range if you can. Get used to that recoil, because you're going to be able to beam players from whatever range you want to do. The full attachments guides that I'm going through right now. So this is the full attachments setup that I'm using on the AKS-74. I tried a lot of setups, so I can assure you this is at least what I personally like the most. So first of all, we're starting off with the scope. It is the Recon 1.5 to 5 adjustable scope. Then I had a stock which I made to increase the stability of the gun, which is important when you're using scope. So stability is kind of when your scope is swaying around. Extra stability when firing stability. You should try this one in the firing range. It makes a huge difference when you're using scope. So you need to use this stock when you're going with the 1.5 scope. If you don't go with the 1.5 scope, you can go with a different stock, whatever you prefer. Then I went with the skeleton foregrip, which increases handling. Handling also kind of equals faster ADS speed, and then you have extra control. Unfortunately, you use a little bit of stability, but the stock makes up for it. And then here, a lot of people might be using or might be excited for the 75 round drum. However, it is not that good. The 75 round drum gives the gun just a little bit too much recon and a little bit too much handling. The handling speed slows down so much, so you really almost use it like a heavy machine rifle instead of the assault rifle it is. So I would recommend the 45 rounds. It's more than enough bullets, and you can add the mag mount to it, which increases the faster reload. For the foregrip, I have the mini hand stop, which increases handling again to make up for that scope. Then I have one of the laser sights. You can add more if you want to. With this setup, you could actually potentially add 3. If you didn't know, you can add more laser sights when you're using the right stock, and I could add another one to this side as well. I wouldn't recommend doing it because, as you can see, the handling decreases, but it could be fun to use if you like it. Wouldn't really recommend adding too much laser sights to a gun. I've memed around with it. It's quite fun. It's not that good. So for the barrel, I have the Bastion horizontal compensator, which increases the extra horizontal control. Extra horizontal control is always good to go for because horizontal recoil is way harder to control than vertical recoil. Usually vertical recoil goes up in one way, and horizontal recoil can go both ways, so it's harder for muscle memory. I would definitely recommend putting this one on. And then for the barrel, I have the Python handguard, increases the handling. I have that also on the other side, so you can have 2. And you can add that when you use the practical long barrel. So you can also go with this. Both of these are actually quite good. But with this, I noticed that the muzzle velocity actually becomes insane, and you'll be able to go within that range of 50 to 100 meters. So it's not really a build I would usually go for. If you know me, I'm an aggressive player in most shooters. And this build almost looks like it's made for a slow player. However, with this setup, I was able to play kind of whatever style I wanted to and kill players in whatever range I wanted to. So this is the setup that I'm recommending. Hopefully this video was useful. Again, consider subscribing to the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.